Mesdames et messieurs,
The greatest festival of our contemporary society, the Olympic Games, is about to begin.
this is gonna be close.
Oh! They're all completely gassed! They've given it everything on the Globalbacken! Oh, yeah! Go! Oh!
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. But that is an Olympic championship.
Ready.
Bonjour and welcome to day 11 of the Paris 2024 Olympics on Keep the Flame Alive, the podcast for fans of the Olympics and Paralympics. I am your host, Jill Jarers, coming to you from the main press center here at Paris 2024 and joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, bonjour.
Bonjour.
How are you?
I'm doing better, and I think you're doing worse.
Yes, I have caught the cold. I've got the Olympic crud. And so we're struggling through tonight.
We're
Let's just say
going
that.
to get through it. We're going to get through it.
I've got cough drops. I'm using the stuff that you've got from the pharmacy.
Oh, the pharmacy is lovely. They give you us good medicine.
So hopefully it will kick in and we'll get over this soon. We've been sleeping a lot. I will say that.
We will do our best.
All right. A little bit from the follow-up file. Apparently some triathletes have gotten sick. Belgium had to pull out of the mixed relay because Claire Michel, who finished 38th in the triathlon, the women's individual triathlon, had to visit a medical clinic. And they can't tie the illness to water quality, but...
Right. So one triathlete gets sick, you say, there can be a million reasons why one person gets sick.
Mm-hmm.
However...
Then... RNZ.co.nz reported that New Zealand's triathlon silver medalist Hayden Wild and another New Zealand triathlete got sick with E. coli.
Which is a little more one-to-one definitive connection.
Yes.
'Cause
So
where else are you getting E. coli?
hopefully nowhere else.
Hopefully nowhere. But that's really upsetting. And we'll get to this. Well, no, actually, we'll mention it right now. The Marathon Swim Familiarization Day that was supposed to be today was canceled because of water quality in the Seine.
Which isn't good because I would think they'd like to have a lot of familiarization with it because it's a pretty fast current still.
So clearly the water quality is a big story, which we hoped it wouldn't be, and yet here we are.
Unfortunately. All right, let's begin the baguette.
I have ice.
Yeah, I know. You are the happiest person in the world right now.
I am. So whenever we go into a restaurant, they're very quick with the water, and you get a glass, and I always ask the waiter for un verre avec beaucoup de glace, and I get 2 cubes if I'm lucky. Tonight I said, can you just get me, because you were stopping at McDonald's, which I love that you went to McDonald's. I have to go to McDonald's at some point while we're here.
It wasn't very good.
I'm sorry.
I was hungry, and that's open, and it's right across the street.
Right.
So there's 2 things there. Open is the big thing at this time.
And on the
Across
way.
it. And my stomach was actually growling. I haven't had a growling stomach. I'm like, oh, I guess I have to eat. And granola bars are only going so far.
They only go so far. So I asked you to get me, I said, I just want a something with ice cream in it, like a shake or a Coke float. And you got me a Coke float, but they put ice in the Coke float, which was very upsetting for the Coke float. But now that I have finished the float and I can just have ice water, I am thrilled. I do not understand why this country hates ice so much. Apparently all of Europe are very anti-ice in their drinks. And I do not understand it because there is nothing better when you are melting under the Parisian sun for a nice icy glass of water.
I know. I do wonder if the heat continues to rise, if they will soon become accustomed to the ice culture that we have in the United States. Did you notice that street flea totally disappeared today?
I did.
It was really weird. I didn't know what to do. So we have this enormous, we call it street flea, which is people put stuff in a sheet and lay it down on the ground. And it's just mobs of people looking at random stuff on sheets. And it's a lot sketchy. It's different than the flea market, which has stalls and stuff. And yesterday it was just out of control.
Yes, it was, as you called it, the street flea amoeba had spread to even further. Usually we have to go a block
Yeah.
from our hotel to hit the flea. You barely stepped out of the hotel and it had spread towards the
Right,
block.
because, somebody was trying to sell TV monitors or TVs, and one was already broken at the end on the corner.
Though today at the train station, somebody tried to sell me a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, far out.
I was like, is this 1970s Soviet Union? What is happening?
But today it was just gone. It was so weird. And then it was semi-clean. It was cleaner than I had seen it. It was still dirty. There's still stuff everywhere, but it was cleaner than I had seen it. It was just, I didn't know what was going on.
Right, because when we were first here, it seemed like Street Flea was a weekend event, and then it was a Monday event,
Right.
and then it disappeared. So we
Right.
don't know what we'll find tomorrow.
And then I had to go up to Garibaldi to get the metro, and Bazaar was there.
Today?
Yes, it was. I don't know, because that was a
How
weekend
bizarre.
thing. It was bizarre. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I don't know what day it is. I don't know if there's
Was
an
Tissue
extra.
Man there?
I didn't see him, but the mattress people were there. That also gets me. You can buy a mattress on the street here.
Or a little mini pack of Kleenex. There's Tissue
Right,
Man.
right.
He seems to show up wherever there is a Street Flea, a bazaar, anything in our neighborhood. He is there selling his tissues.
And I might have bought some of him today.
It's shown up. He may have been with the cigarette people.
That could be. That could be. But I did see €5 pants, and I really almost stopped because I thought those are really cheap. They're probably horrible quality, but if you get some, they would be your favorite pants for a long time.
Those are the kind of things like, oh, I bought this for $5 on the side of the road. It's like I bought it for €5 from the Street Flea, and it's lovely.
So, what volunteer job or officiating job would you like to have today?
Now, at first, I thought I was going to say I wanted to be the handler for Alice Milliette, the character. But then I went to athletics. And, of course, they had the little car.
And a million jobs at
A million
athletics.
jobs. A million jobs. There's the man that uncovers the water pit for steeplechase. There's the guys who bring out the hurdles and wrangle them in. But no, the official that deals with the hammer, putting it on the car and sending it back. But here was the thing. I think he was talking to the car.
Really?
Not that the car responded.
But maybe voice activated?
No, like that was just his thing. I think, because it looked like the car did something weird, and he sort of talked to it like it was a dog. And of course, I'm very far away; I can't hear him, so I'm going by body language and response. So I think the official and the little remote control car had developed a bit of a bond.
Aw.
And I said, "That is the job for me."
I went to skateboarding today, and I thought course manager might be a job for me because it's got a clipboard, it's got headsets, and it's basically the guy walks around the course kind of to make himself opposite sort of where the skaters going to drop in. And he gives a thumbs up to go and a stop to not go. That was kind of good. But then I went to wrestling, and I agree with you on bins. That was a good job.
That was a great job, and they have a little sticker on it.
But we had a couple of retirees today. I know, I about lost it. And there is a volunteer who goes and gets the shoes.
Oh, right, because there's the tradition of wrestling when you
Yes.
retire to leave your wrestling shoes on the mat and,
Yes.
and you walk off. But you can't just leave them on the mat.
No,
has
so
to
someone
collect
collected them, and I kind of tried to follow where they went, but I don't know what happened after collection. But that was it got me. Those
Right.
always get me.
Those beautiful sport traditions that are so sport specific.
Toilet talk. Did you have any? Oh, you went to a new venue today.
I did go to a new venue, and I think I experienced the smallest sink I have ever seen in a normal sized bathroom. So if you've ever been on a cruise ship and you get those, or in like somebody's super tiny powder room that they made out of a closet, you'll get those mini sinks. Well, this bathroom had a little tiny mini sink, but it was a normal sized bathroom. So you have your toilet, you have your, and then all the way in the corner is this tiny little sink that my big, meaty American hands did not fit in very nicely.
When I was walking out of La Concorde, and you got to go through, the way I went out, you went through like Tuileries and saw the big cauldron balloon. And I did walk past a porta potty that was branded Happy, Happee. I can tell you that the smell was not so happy. I didn't take a picture. I couldn't take a picture of it because I would have, there were people right behind me, so I would have just stopped traffic.
Oh, I was worried about there being another games wide open
Oh,
situation.
gosh, please no. Oh.
And then you're taking a picture.
So, and I also, at wrestling, even though we've been to the venue before, I decided to go in the regular people bathrooms tonight.
Why?
I don't know, because I wondered if the in-house bathroom was better than the trailer bathrooms that we got. I would say no, especially because we were women. 3 stalls in an arena bathroom. 3.
Yeah. There's something we left out of listener Brian's story from yesterday of his roadside female and male urinals. It was the company name.
Oh.
It was Madame P.
Oh, boy. Well, if you enjoy our toilet time segments and all of the rest of the Olympic coverage that we bring you from Paris, because we are bringing you the sights and sounds and hopefully not the smells of this great city. But this kind of investigative journalism does cost money. I'm sorry. And as an independent media outlet, we are quite heavily listener supported. So if you have been enjoying this coverage and could contribute to the cause, we would greatly appreciate it. Maybe $20.24, as it's 2024. That would be helpful. If there are a number of ways to send money our way, you can go to flamealivepod.com/support. We have PayPal, we have Venmo, we have Buy Me a Coffee. If you'd like to be an ongoing patron and continue your support throughout the year, as the show does continue throughout the year, you can become a patron. That's patreon.com/flamealivepod. There's a link on our support page. And patrons, all paid patrons, get a photo of the day. And then $5 up and $5 a month and up, get a video, an occasional video. I'm still working on getting some stuff cut down for you, so you'll be getting videos probably after the games are over. But those are several ways that you can support this effort and make sure that we can continue to keep the show alive after the games are done.
And for everyone who has contributed during the games, we get those notices, and thank you so much. It's incredibly thrilling to see, so thank you again.
All right, today's results. We had the team free routine in artistic swimming.
Yes, so this is the middle round. Daniela Ramirez and Megumi Field from the U.S. ranked second in this round, and they have moved up to second overall. Jacqueline Simoneau and Team Canada scored a 5th in the free routine and moved up to 6th overall. So we've got a lot of action. I'll be heading over there tomorrow for medals.
Okay, now we have to talk about the discovery of the music submissions.
Okay, so in my info, our intranet that we are given information, we have discovered a very detailed breakdown of what music each of the teams will be using for each routine. It's not only the name of the music, it is a descriptor of the music. So you get things like aggressive hip-hop beat.
Yes. And then it goes down further, and like they have to tell the whole story of why they are choosing this music. It's incredibly detailed.
And I think that all has to go into their artistic impression scores. Are they presenting what they're intending to present artistically? Are they achieving their artistic goal? So I will have a little time tomorrow before I head over for that final to take a look at everybody's artistic plan, I'll let you know. It was fun today watching it on TV, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, there are sparkly costumes. Somebody, and I apologize for not remembering who this was, had swim caps
Oh,
as part of their costumes.
huh. That's interesting.
And I said, that's a much greater relief to your head than
Right,
more
than-
Jell-O.
Interesting. So, yes, I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody's routine is and what transpires, because I don't know which routines I was looking at, but I did see boxing,
Yes, that was Canada.
and I also saw sorceresses.
That may have been Japan.
Okay. But it was
It was fantastic.
exactly. Athletics. You were at athletics tonight.
I was at athletics. So the first 20 minutes of the evening session is all awarding the medals from the night before. So we're bopping up and down for anthems, which is great, because then people are paying attention and nobody leaves, which has been a problem at some other
Yes.
events. But one score that we have to correct, last night we had given results from the women's 5,000. There was an appeal that was lodged and won, so those medals have changed. So the gold still goes to Kenya's Beatrice Chebet. Silver now goes to Kenya's Faith Kipyegon. She had been disqualified for interfering with another runner, but she was restored. So now bronze goes to the Netherlands' Sifan Hassan.
That's interesting.
The medals had not been awarded. That was the
Okay.
one thing, so that overnight waiting actually played into it, because then they didn't have to redo anything, which was good. Now we'll get into some wild finals that I saw,
Okay.
including the men's 1500.
Yes, because when I saw your notes on this, I actually pulled it up and watched it while I was at wrestling.
So this was going to be the big Josh Kerr, Jakob Ingebrigtsen duel. Ingebrigtsen being the defending gold medalist, Kerr being the defending or the reigning world champion. Over the past 3 years, they just keep going back and forth. Everyone said this is going to be them on the course. Ingebrigtsen was leading 3/4 of the way, and Kerr was just kind of hanging out in third, comfortably close, but saving himself. But 150 meters towards the end, he makes his move, pulls ahead. And then all of a sudden, out of absolutely nowhere, Cole Hawker from the United States comes out and just wins the race with an Olympic record.
And you could see it when on the feed. You could see it on his face, like, I am going to win this now.
It was, talk about last second heroics. And Kerr just sort of, at the end of the race, was just shaking his head like, yeah, he beat me. He did it. But Ingebrigtsen ended up fourth.
Which was amazing. He just couldn't. He had nothing left.
He had
in a way.
nothing left. And one of the quotes that I pulled up was, he said his first lap was 2 seconds too fast.
Oh.
That he just mispaced himself at the beginning. And then when that little surge happened at the end, he was burnt out. He had nothing left. So gold goes to Cole Hawker of the United States with an Olympic record. Silver to Josh Kerr of Great Britain. And bronze, also a surprise, from the United States, Yared Nuguse. Sadly, in hammer throw, Deanna Price did not have a great night. She ended up 11th. She fouled on her first throw and just never looked comfortable.
That is a shame.
Yeah, she looked like she was about to foul on her 2 other throws. So it just didn't look like it was going to be her night. But you know whose night it was? It was Canada. Canada has now won both hammer events,
That's incredible.
which has never happened before for Canada. And, you know, they seem like such a nice country, but they will throw the hammer on you. So gold went to Canada's Cameron Rogers. The United States took silver. Annette Nenka Echikunwoki. I hope I got that right. And then bronze went to China's Zhao Ji. When I was watching hammer, I was very upset because you can't see the hammer in the air.
Oh.
I couldn't identify it. I don't know if it was the shadows or the light, or it's just really hard to see.
And it's on the opposite side of where the tribune is.
It's in the middle. The way they were doing hammer was kind of midfield.
Oh, okay.
Where I was sitting was kind of in direct line with where the hammers were landing.
Okay.
But I still couldn't see it. The only way I saw it is when dust got kicked up.
Huh.
I really couldn't see long jump.
Oh, no, I couldn't see it either.
Not a, and they were going the whole night. All of a sudden somebody would scream and I would say, what is going on? Happened in the long jump.
Good night.
Oh, you're
You're welcome.
So in men's long jump, gold went to Greece, and that's Tentaglo. See, now you do them so smoothly, Jill, and I'm trying to help you out here.
No, Metiliadis Tentaclo.
See, now you did that. so
Okay.
nicely.
Then silver went to Wayne Pinnock from Jamaica, and bronze went to Mattia Furlani from Italy. Did you want to talk about hurdles?
I did want to talk about hurdles because I got to see Sydney McLaughlin. Oh my gosh, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone just not even try. I mean, I know she really tries hard. I know she works incredibly hard. But in her semifinal, she was significantly ahead. Wow. Not even sweating. Looking gorgeous and amazing. And that final's going to be, I want her to break that that world record again. Oh, that would be sweet.
And you saw steeplechase.
I saw steeplechase. And seeing it in person, I have to tell you, I do not understand this race. Why are they running into water? Like all of a sudden, the guy unveils the water pit.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make sense when I watch it on TV. When I see it in person, it really doesn't make sense. But that's okay.
We'll have to look into it.
And those hurdles are much bigger in person
Okay.
than they look on television. They are really intimidating. And not just because I'm really short. I mean, those were scary looking hurdles. But it was also a very cool race. Gold went to Bahrain. I don't think we've ever said that before. Winfred Yavi, who got an Olympic record.
Nice.
Silver went to Peruth Chemute from Uganda. And bronze went to Faith Cheretich from Kenya. Last race of the night was the women's 200. There was a light show. You were very upset the other day.
Well, maybe it was a rain thing.
It may have been a rain thing that the women's 100 didn't get a light show and the men's 100 did. The women's 200 got a very funky light show that involved everybody in the arena.
Oh, nice.
And their phones and lights
Well,
they
that makes
handed
me
out.
that makes me happier.
Also, looked like she wasn't even trying. Gold went to Gabrielle Thomas of the United States, who won easily and beautifully. Silver to Julian Alfred from St. Lucia.
Who won the 100?
So she gets to take home. And bronze goes to my cousin, Brittany Brown, from the United States.
All right. In basketball, we had the men's quarterfinals. Germany defeated Greece 76-63. Serbia beat Australia 95-90. France beat Canada 82-73. Oh man, France getting further. It's gonna be crazy.
They're not fooling around.
And then USA beat Brazil 122-87. In beach volleyball, we had men's and women's quarterfinals. The team of Ehlers and Wickler from Germany defeated Burmans and de Groot of Netherlands. And Amon and Helvig of Sweden beat Evandro and Arthur of Brazil 2-0.
And then on the women's side, Huberly and Bruner beat our Hughes and Chang. What? I hadn't seen this.
I know, but the sets were really close.
Yeah, it was 2-0, but
it was 21-18, 21-19. So really, really close.
And Mariafi and Clancy from Australia beat Esme and Zoe, also from Switzerland.
In boxing, we had some finals tonight. We had first off, we had some bronze medal matches in some weights, and then we had one final. So in the men's 71 kilograms, we had bronzes going to Lewis Richardson from Great Britain and Omari Jones from the USA. In the women's 50 kilogram final, bronze went to Nazim Kizabai from Kazakhstan and Aria Falegas from Philippines.
Ooh, more Philippines.
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice. And in the women's 66 kilogram final, do we have a second bronze medal here?
I don't think it happened.
Oh,
today.
okay. Bronze went to Janjam Suwanafang from Thailand. And then in the women's 60 kilograms final,
Which ended in the middle of the night, it felt like.
yes, Kelly Harrington from Ireland won gold. She is a repeat gold medalist from Tokyo. Silver went to Yang Wenlu from China, and bronzes went to Beatriz Yasmin Suarez Ferreira and Wu Shi from Brazil and Wu Shi Yi from Chinese Taipei.
Then we went to Canoe Sprint, bunch of heats and quarters in men's C2 and K1 and K4. So we're going to get some finals coming up on that tomorrow.
Excellent. In diving, we had men's 3-meter springboard preliminaries.
Andrew Capobianco is qualified for the semis. He will be headed for that tomorrow. Finals are on Thursday.
And we also had the women's 10-meter platform final. Gold went to China's Huang Hongchan. Silver went to China's Chen Yuxi. And bronze went to Kim Mi Rae from North Korea.
So China still reigns supreme, hasn't lost a gold yet in diving.
In equestrian, we had the jumping individual final. I believe this might have been the last day for equestrian. Not sure, but it's close to the last day. The gold medal went to Christian Kukuk from Germany, riding checker. Silver went to Steve Guerdat from Switzerland, riding Dynamics de Belham. And bronze went to Michael van der Vleuten from Netherlands, riding Beauville, Z.
Because we got to honor the horses. I still believe the horses need to get a medal and an apple.
Special.
Justice for Olympic horses.
What they need is a special Olympic apple. Craft a new kind of apple for the Olympics.
Yes. I mean, you have multiple color apples. They can have a bright yellow for the gold. You know, sort of a whitish yellow for the silver.
Reddish for the bronze.
Yes. Justice for Olympic horses. Hashtag.
In football, we had women's semifinals tonight. USA beat Germany 1-0 in overtime.
Oh, man.
And then Brazil beat Spain 4-2.
So that'll be U.S. and Brazil for the gold.
In handball, we had women's quarterfinals. I saw some of this on the feed, and the stadium in Lille is big compared to what the tournament here was. There's a lot of people fitting into that stadium.
Right,
It's awesome.
The handball tournament, or the handball arena here, was pretty small. Of the ones up in Arena Sud, it was the smallest.
Yeah, I was really, really surprised. But they've moved it to a much bigger venue for the big brackets, so that's nice. In the women's quarterfinals, Denmark beat Netherlands 29-25, France beat Germany 26-23, Sweden beat Hungary 36-32, and Norway beat Brazil 32-15. So for the semifinals, we will have Norway versus Denmark. Oh, that's going to be a good one. And Sweden versus France, which will also be good.
It's like Viking on Viking.
And those will be on Thursday. In hockey, we had men's semifinals today. Netherlands beat Spain 4-0, and Germany beat India 3-2.
Oh, that's the one that India wants. They want that hockey medal. So they'll be playing for the bronze. We should have some sailing medals, but we don't. It got rescheduled again.
They're not having great weather issues.
Sailing has been problematic throughout, so we'll see if we actually get some medals before the end of the Olympics.
Hopefully. Skateboarding, we had the women's park medals today.
Okay, women.
Well, okay, we had the girls' park medals today. And I went to a little bit of the prelims. Was a little late because I had slept in a little bit. And the venue was packed. The press tribune was packed. Nowhere to sit, nowhere to stay. So I watched a little bit. I watched most of a heat and part of another heat. And called it a day.
The heat got you.
The heat got me. It was hot. I was cranky. And this event's not for me. I will say that.
Well, seeing children compete is what you do as a parent, not what you do on the Olympic stage.
Right. And I know how they laud we have young people. We have people who can't qualify to be in the Youth Olympics, and they're in the regular Olympics. And that really bothers me. There was one girl who was 11.
If the best people in your sport are 11, your sport's not competitive enough to be in the Olympics.
No, and we had the same conversation for Tokyo.
We did. And the fact that, and I said this when we talked about skateboarding before, the fact that the girls aren't getting older, that we still have a 14, 15, and 16-year-old on the podium says to me, this is a problem in the sport.
Right, because the oldest athlete was 23.
And she was old by a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, there's these handful of teenagers. No, they're all teenagers, and then there's one or two who are over 18. This is undermining the legitimacy of the sport by far. I mean, it's one thing when you had Sky Brown was a star, and she
bronzed
did come back
again,
which is nice. But if the girls who were 15 and 16 in Tokyo, where are they now?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not coming back? Are they not coming back because the sport has burned them out? Are they not coming back because they're no longer getting the scores because the judges want the sport to be 14, 15, 16?
I don't know. We'd have to look at the sheet. Actually, we should look at the entrance to see, oh, maybe they just didn't place high enough. Maybe
Right,
they're
but
back.
What does that say?
I don't know. Well, then it makes me wonder, like, oh, if you're a little girl and you have a body that flips a little easier or does tricks a little easier, that's what we give the points to. And we just, hey, we've seen this in gymnastics.
And
Don't
skating.
And don't go down this route, skateboard.
I mean, we have seen this film before, and we do not like the ending because we know what it means. If you've got 14 and 15-year-old girls as your stars, that is ripe for a lot of not good things.
So the sport itself, the in-house announcer would tell you what moves they were doing, but I couldn't see very well to tell a difference in a lot of stuff. Like, oh, did they skid on a rail? Did they skid on the rail longer? And that's called something else. Out of all the announcers that were announcing things like this that we didn't know, he's been at the bottom of the list for me. Not horrible, but just could be better. And I think maybe we had a skateboard crowd in there because they seemed to know what was going on, and I just didn't. But I might have enjoyed street a little bit more because it's more rails and ramps, and this is the bowl, like you're skating in the swimming pool. So I didn't really notice. There weren't a ton of variations to my untrained eye. But bronze went to Arissa True from Australia, gold went to Australia's Arissa True, who's age 14. Silver went to Hiraki Kokona from Japan, who's 15, and bronze went to Sky Brown from Great Britain, who is 16. I'll be curious to see if they keep coming back, though.
Right. Do we continue to see 14, 15 as your podium and the girls aren't coming back?
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Sport climbing.
I went to the third ring of hell today, which was the sport climbing facility. Also could be confused with Queens because it was out by the airport. And as I was walking from the train station to the stadium with a very large crowd of people, it was very well guided. I was like, where's White Castle? It was very far out and very isolated. The facility was lovely. A little odd, though, because it's a multi-sport facility that's obviously used for the neighborhood. So we had to walk across the soccer field for the media entrance, which is a little strange. No shade, again. One press table with no chairs. I had to take a chair from the handicap section, so hoped that nobody handicapped came with someone who needed a chair. Thankfully, nobody who did. I would have given them my chair back. I'm not that kind of person. And after about 2 hours, I could no longer see straight, so retreated to the media center for the shade. It was okay when there were 4 climbers going at once because they've got 4 problems, so 4 courses, called, 4 problems that they have to climb. When only one was going at a time, that was a little slow.
Okay.
When 4 were going at a time, you had a lot to look at. However, it got very boring very quickly watching people, try and climb a wall and fall off the wall, and try and climb the wall and fall off the wall. Just over and over and over and over again.
So is it, if you solve the first problem, you move on to the second problem and somebody comes back to the first problem? Or
No.
they just assign 4 people to problems?
So what they do is they start the first person. The first 3 people go by themselves. And then it's almost like, what's that song where you start singing in different points? So
It's a round?
It's a round.
Okay.
So then the next person comes out and the next person comes out. So at any given moment, there are 4 people going, but then they take those 4 people away.
Okay.
And then the next 4 people. So each climber gets a turn on each problem.
Okay.
And then their cumulative score is what moves them on.
Okay.
But yeah, just when you got some people who got to the top, hooray, Brooke Rabiceau did very nicely today. That was fun. But there was way more falling off than getting to the top, which I guess is kind of the point, because you want it to be hard. But I think it may have been a little too hard.
Okay.
Or it was just a huge disparity in skill.
Could also be. Depends. Do they have shade?
They have shade.
That's good.
The athletes are not in the blazing sun, and the front part of the seating area is not in the blazing sun.
Also nice.
Rest of it is. And also because of time of day. So when I first sat down, my seat was not in the blazing sun, and then half an hour later it was.
Ah.
So they didn't schedule this terribly well. But as I mentioned, Brooke Rabiceau topped the first 2 problems very, very quickly on her round. She did very well, and she stands in 3rd heading into the next round.
Very nice.
I didn't see any of the men's speed qualification in person. I was in the media center trying to get my head to not explode from the heat.
Fair. In surfing, we have
medals.
We have medals. We finally have medals. The competition has been completed. For the men, gold went to Kauli Vast. He is from Tahiti and was representing France. Silver went to Jack Robinson from Australia, and bronze went to Gabriel Medina from Brazil. I think it's only it's nice that a Tahitian won.
Oh, I think that's amazing.
On the women's side, gold went to Caroline Marks from the USA. Silver went to Tatiana Weston Webb from Brazil, and Johan Defay from France won the bronze.
So that's a lot of France on that podium.
It is. In table tennis, we had the women's team round of 16 and quarterfinals. Also with the men, they had the same thing.
Yes, unfortunately, our Millie Tapper and Team Australia were defeated by Chinese Taipei 3-2-0.
Also moving on, Germany beat USA 3-2. And in the quarterfinals, Korea beat Sweden 3-0 and Japan beat Thailand 3-0.
And then on the men's side, China beat India, Korea beat Croatia, Japan beat Taipei, and Sweden beat Germany.
Track cycling has started. We had the men's team sprint finals today. Gold went to Netherlands, silver went to Great Britain, and bronze went to Australia.
And then over in volleyball, Jordan Larson and the women's team USA were in action the quarters, as were several of the women's teams. So the USA did win. They'll be heading over to the semis. They defeated Poland. Turkey beat China 3-2. Brazil beat the Dominican Republic 3-0. Italy beat Serbia 3-0. So US plays Brazil. Turkey plays Italy on Thursday.
Wow, those are going to be good.
And Loud and Monster Block. And I'm afraid to go because I think the scaffolding may finally collapse under that pressure.
I should go. I forgot. I need to have a Karch Cry watch.
Just look for the little man who looks like Grandpa doing the box score.
I know. It's so weird. It's so weird to think of him as old.
I know, because he's frozen in 1984 in your brain.
Yes, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm so glad that he's a really good coach now. In water polo, we had women's quarterfinals. Spain beat Canada 18-8. Netherlands beat Italy 11-8. Australia beat Greece 9-6, and USA beat Hungary 5-4.
Ooh, that
Close
was a
one.
humdinger of a match. I know
Yes.
Superfan Sarah and,
And-
producer Ben
Yes.
were at that match, so we'll get some details from them.
And listener Cheryl, I believe, was also there.
Oh, so TKFLASTAN representing. USA will play Australia, and Spain will play the Netherlands. All the semis seem to be on Thursday. I feel
Yeah.
like he keeps saying on Thursday, so we're going to get a lot of wrapping up on Thursday.
Yeah, I know. We're getting close, man. Wrestling.
You made it out to see to
I
visit
did.
with the Dulcet Jones.
Yes,
and
I
Jason
didn't.
Bryan.
I didn't. I saw him there. I also saw T-Bach there. He was down below, and the Dulcet Tones of Jason Bryant got a pin from T-Bach. It's a special Olympic rings and a heart pin. It's very nice. I'm very
Did
jealous.
T-Bach make the little heart hands?
I don't know because he was down in front,
I would have loved to see T-Bach make heart hands.
but he was there for a special reason, and it was a special night at wrestling. We had a bunch of reportage and early rounds in the morning, and then in the evening it was some semis and some finals. This is going to be a big story. So Vinesh from India defeated Guzman Lopez from Cuba. This is the first time that India will have a wrestler in the final. I think a female wrestler, but this is going to be a big story. They've had a bronze medalist, a female bronze medalist, but they will have a better medal outcome from this. I was sitting next to an Indian man in the press, and we high-fived. He was so excited. He was telling me all about this, so it's going to be a big deal. We'll keep following that story. She has also had a major run up to this point. In the round of 8, one of her earlier matches, she took down Susaki Yui, the defending Olympic champion.
Oh, so she's not taking an easy road to getting to this gold medal match.
No, and she also beat former European champion Oksana Levech from Ukraine in the quarterfinals, and then tonight the woman she defeated was the reigning Pan Am Games championships. So she has done amazingly well. It's going to be a great story. We also had the big story of the night was Mian Lopez Nunez.
And Jason and I were talking about him because I saw him fight in some of his earlier rounds. He's both a big guy and a huge story in Olympics.
Yes, he has was a 4-peat gold medalist, and tonight he became a 5-peat. It is the first he's tied for the most medals in wrestling. This is his 6th games. He got 5th in Athens. First 5-time Olympic champion in wrestling. First 5-peat in any sport at the Olympics. So this was big. He got early on got a couple points on passivity, and the first one he converted to an exposure, so he flipped the guy over. It was really cool. And then he got a couple points on a takedown. So this was kind of a no lose for him. And these guys were big.
Yeah, they're no joke size guys. They're actually quite terrifying.
And the man he defeated, Yasmani Acosta Fernandez from Chile, Chile's first medal in wrestling.
Big night.
I know, it was a big night.
So was Lopez Nunez one of the shoes? Has he retired?
He did retire.
He did
I was so
retire.
surprised. He's 41, first off.
Right, but he's kind of one of those wrestlers, from what Jason was telling me. He just keeps coming back for the Olympics. He sort of stops in between, and then he just comes back and wins again. So to do the shoe thing is a big. You don't take the shoes back.
No, not very often. So that surprised me and got me. We had a second one. This was in the bronze medal match for the men's 130 kilograms. Amin Mirzazadeh from Iran defeated Azerbaijan's Sabah Shariati. There was a medical timeout for blood, so they're wrapping somebody's head. The match ends, and the Iranian had won. Carries the other guy on his shoulders around the ring. And then he retired. The Azerbaijani retired. And that got me too. And you could tell when they retire, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's a beautiful tradition. And, in a sport like wrestling, these are not, from a country like Azerbaijan or from Iran or... They're not getting endorsements. They're not doing this for money.
Well, and this sport is huge over in those sections of the country or sections of the world as well. So that is also kind of a big deal.
Right. They're huge stars, but they're not wealthy from it. And I would have cried too. I'm glad I didn't see any shoes when I was there.
Right. So we did have the men's Greco-Roman 60 kilogram final. Japan's Fumita Kenichiro won gold. Silver went to So Li Gua from China, and bronze went to Yolman Sharshabekov from Kyrgyzstan, and then also to Ri Se-eung from North Korea. In the 130
kilogram.
Thank you.
Greco-Roman, because we know you have trouble with
I
Greco-Roman
know I said
too.
it. I said it good the first time.
You did.
Mian Lopez Nunes won the gold. Asmani Acosta Fernandez won the silver, and bronzes went to Amin Mirzazadeh from Iran and Meng Li Ju from China. And then in the women's freestyle 68 kilograms, gold went to Ami Alor from USA. Oh, she was so excited. It was a really good match too, and I believe she won it right at the end, and thrilled. Miram Chimanazarov from Kyrgyzstan won silver, and bronzes went to Bose Chavusulu Tusu from Turkey and Nonaka Ozaki from Japan. And there was a big Japanese cheering section, which is fun. And then other fun fact is Ami Alor. She is the youngest Olympic champion U.S. women of wrestling history.
Nice.
And I got to say, it was so much fun to hear Jason Bryant work. The dulcet tones. Hey, dulcet. Like, if I was to have a podium ceremony, I would want those tones saying my name. That's for sure. He is so good and, like, fills in the fun facts.
Right, and fills in the fun facts, fills in the things that are going on, makes you feel like even though you don't understand the sport, you have a handle at what's happening in front of you.
Yes, and not...
we haven't found in a lot of venues.
Right, and it's not very intrusive either. That's kind of the fun thing. So, Jason, we appreciate you.
You know who else we appreciate?
Our mascot.
Our mascot, and happy birthday to our mascot, Theo. Theodore is turning 10 this week, and he is not slowing down anytime soon. Theo has met the Team USA Bear, several Olympians, and a few Olympic medalists over the years.
Wow.
And considering how Superfan Sarah has gotten her way places
Yes.
while she's been in Paris, I have a feeling Theo's going to make some new Olympic friends.
Oh, I'm sure.
When she gets back. So special thanks to Sarah for sharing Theo with TKFLASTAN this week and for supporting our Kickstarter campaign.
Which is what got us here. So thank you so much for being our mascot, and thank you to our Kickstarter supporters. How's our medal count doing?
Unchanged. We are at 6 golds, 4 silvers, 4 bronze. We have fallen slightly to 11th and a half on the medal table between Germany and Brazil.
Still doing well.
Not going to argue. So in TKFLASTAN Watch, we've got team medal finals in artistic swimming for Megumi Fields and Daniela Ramirez on Team USA and Jacqueline Simoneau on Team Canada. Evan Dunphy races in the mixed relay marathon race walk. Katie Moon looks to defend her Olympic title in women's pole vault. Kenny Bednarek runs in the semis of the men's 200 meters. Nevin Harrison begins her heats in women's 200-meter canoe sprint. Andrew Capobianco dives into the semis of the men's 3-meter springboard. Ben Halleck and Team USA Water Polo face Australia in the quarterfinals. And both of our weightlifters will be in action tomorrow. Jordan Dela Cruz in women's 49 kilogram and Hampton Morris in men's 61 kilogram.
Excellent. It's another big day for TKFLASTAN.
Not slowing down.
We also have some shout outs to our Kickstarter supporters.
Yes, so some of the Kickstarter supporters from that got us to Paris: Annalie Dable, Seska Brown, another cousin, Ross Highsmith, and Brittany Cook. They're not really all cousins.
I understand.
I realize I keep saying that they're really not cousins, but they're my cousins. If they're named Brown, they're my cousins.
Right. Well, Seetska, we appreciate you. and Ross and Brittany and Annalie, we do appreciate your support for helping us get here. And if you are following wrestling and you want a little bit more information and background, you should check out the Dulcet Tones of Jason Bryant's Wrestling Guide. It is found at mattalk.com, mattalkonline.com/Paris. That's mattalkonline.com/Paris. Listeners can save $5 by using the discount code FLAMEALIVE. And I will tell you, it is chock full of information. It's got history going back, all the medal winners.
You were using it today while you were at wrestling.
Yes, I had to look up some Olympic facts. So those were in there that I got very, very quickly, much quicker than other ways I would have gotten them. And it has name pronunciations,
which I clearly need.
So that's, again, it's at madtalkonline.com/Paris and use the code FLAMEALIVE. And that is going to do it for this episode. Special thank you to our researcher, Annalie Dable.
And to get in touch with us while we are in Paris, you can find us on X, YouTube, and Instagram at FlameAlivePod. Send us an email at flamealivepod@gmail.com. Call or text us at 208-352-6348. That's 208-FLAME-IT. Chat with us and other fans on our Facebook group, Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. And to get our special daily Games Time newsletter, you can sign up for that at our website, flamealivepod.com.
Join us again tomorrow for more action from Paris and to see if we can talk. So that will be exciting. And please don't forget to tell a friend about the show and hang out with us in the Facebook group. It has been hopping, which has been fantastic. Thank you so much for listening, and until tomorrow, keep the flame alive.